power of the blood. Yes, and mercy, and the power of the blood. But the goodness and mercy and the power of the blood.
Well, good morning, Faith Baptist Church family. I stand before you today in my heavy jacket because I am cold. This is not what we're normally used to as Florida weather, but hey, God's so good. It's going to start warming up here before long, and we're thankful for that. You know, for the last day of January, it really isn't bad. We don't have anything to complain about because, you know, if you step outside your front door, it may be a little chilly outside, but there's not any snow to shovel. So we just want to rejoice in the day the Lord has given to us because God is good. Had two really good services yesterday, very well attended, and we're so thankful for that. Had visitors in the service yesterday morning, had some return guests yesterday morning, thankful for that. And we're just grateful for what God is doing. In our annual business meeting last night, I was so thankful for the spirit of one mind and one accord that the Lord gave to us. We approved the proposed budget for the coming year for 2022, and we elected new officers, and we want to welcome Ron Smith as our new trustee. He is he's joining the trustee leadership for this coming year, and he seemed to be really excited about it. And I am thankful too. I had a couple of comments last night after the business meeting was over because I had folks sharing that folks that were new to our church that they appreciated the spirit that was present in our church business meeting. You know, church business meetings sometimes are just an opportunity for people to fight. And I'm so thankful that it's not that way here at Faith. God has been so good to us. In fact, I've been the pastor here, let's see, coming up shortly, it'll be 10 years. And in those 10 years' time, I don't ever remember a fuss or fight in a business meeting. That's the way it ought to be. God's people need to be focused on reaching lost men and women, boys and girls, and propagating the gospel at home and around the world more than we are fussing and fighting about the color of carpet or paint or whatever. We do have maintenance things that we have to attend to, but you know, we try to do those things in a way that would bring honor and glory to the Lord. And I shared with the folks last night as we were talking about budget things and looking at the financial statements and things like that. God's just been so good, so very good to us in providing for us. And the financial statement was just amazingly wonderful. And I told the church family last night, hey, we're not a secret society around here. We want you to see, you know, we want you to see the budget, what we are looking forward to spending, and approve that budget, give us permission to spend those funds in those areas. And I'm just so thankful for the spirit of cooperation that we have here at Faith Baptist Church. Just makes everything easier. I wanted to share that with you because it was such a blessing to me and on my heart and everything. If you haven't seen a copy of the proposed budget or now the adopted budget for 2022, then there's some still at the Welcome Center. If you come in, you can pick one up and take a look at it. But as the church council gathered to start working on and putting together this the proposed budget for the coming year, you know, we wanted to be responsible in what we were proposing to spend, but we wanted to be forward-looking as well, because we're hoping that this year, 2022, will be the year that we break ground and we start building our new building. If you'd pray with us about that, give toward that, we would appreciate that so very much. Also, yesterday was the end of our Faith Promise Missions Giving campaign, where we asked you to fill out and tell us what you're going to give to missions this coming year. And a number of folks have come in. In fact, what I have right now As of the end of the day yesterday, what we got in the offering and everything, I think it totals a little over $27,000. Now, going into the congregational meeting last night, I had totaled them up, and at that point, we only had a little over $17,000, and the rest of that came in after church last night. So I'm so thankful for that, because the budget last year was $25,322. I don't remember the exact amount. I've got it written down on my desk, but the commitments that have come in for missions for this coming year total a little over $27,000 this year. So thankful for that. I'm not going to have to call a single missionary and say, hey, I'm sorry, we can't support you because we just don't have the funds. And I didn't want to have to do that. We voted last night to take on the Williams family that are going to Wales. They're serving the Lord in Wales. And so I was excited about that. And then next month, in February, we are going to sit down together, and we're going to invite the church family to come. We're going to call a meeting to consider one, perhaps two more missionary families that we would like to support this coming year. So thank you for your faithfulness. We had a banner year last year in giving to missions. And if you haven't turned in your faith promise commitment card, it's not too late. It's never too late. Just go ahead and fill it out and bring it in, and we'll just add it to the number. We'll be taking our board here to have the numbers revamped and everything, and we'll just look forward to seeing what the Lord's going to do. It's exciting that God is providing the way that He is. I wrote to Brother Williams this morning and said, basically, welcome to the Faith Baptist Church missionary family. It's such a joy to do that. Also, the church approved last night to send a gift of $1,500 to Aaron Taylor. Now, Aaron Taylor and her husband Josh were our missionaries in Honduras. Josh went home to be with the Lord this past year, a young man. And Aaron, after praying about it, decided not to go back to the mission field. And so the mission board asked us if we would consider supporting Aaron through the end of February. Now, that would have meant that would have been the first quarterly payment. We support our missionaries at $800 a year. The first quarterly payment would have been $200, and the church council said, she's a widow. She has children. We need to do better than just sending $200. And so we decided, and the church approved, we're sending her $1,500. The other thing that we decided to do last night with some of the money that was over and above what was given this year was Emmanuel Gangampo is our missionary to Togo, West Africa. He has a young missionary pastor, national pastor, that needs a motorcycle so he can go do his visits and get around, because the country's so widespread. They can't just, it's not like our neighborhoods. He has to ride. Anyway, the most economical way for him to do this is on motorcycle. And he has mentioned that in one of his prayer letters. And so we asked him, how much will it take to supply the young man with a motorcycle? And he wrote back and he said, we could probably get a pretty good one for about $1,200. And so the church family voted last night to send the Gangampos $1,500 to help with that need. That just blesses my heart. I believe that God will bless a church that loves missions. And we're looking forward to being able to take on some new missionaries this coming year. And, with whatever it is that comes in, we're already above what we pledged what we committed last year, and I understand some folks don't want to fill out a pledge card, but this is really beyond a pledge card. It's a commitment card. It's just between you and the Lord. You don't have to put your name on it if you don't want to. In fact, there's no place on there for you to put your name. You just ask the Lord what He would have you to do per week, per month, or maybe even just a one-time gift, what He would have you to do this coming year, in year 2022, for missions. And then you can still bring them in, drop them off in the offering plates, because every little bit helps. And we're just excited to be able to have, at present, we have 16 flags around the auditorium. We have 2 missionaries that are in the country, in our country, in America. We have the Box up in Alaska. We have the Snooks right here in Florida with Missionary Flights International. So we really have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 16, 17 flags, and we will be soon adding a Wales, a national flag of Wales to our flag collection here, in memory, representing the Williams family that we now support in Wales. You know, it's just so blessed to be able to call them and say, hey, welcome to the missionary family of Faith Baptist Church. We're in tax season now. We want you to know that your contribution records are now available in the lobby of the church. They've been there for 2 or 3 weeks now. So if you, I can't remember exactly when Laura put them there, but they are there for you to pick up if you'd like to take them. You need to take them so that you can have them if you're going to claim them on your taxes and things like that. So they're there for you. It is just such a blessing to serve the Lord. And I want to say to you, and will to the church family soon, that I am so thankful, Debbie and I are, to be able to serve the Lord here. This church is the church that has taken the best care of us of the churches that we've pastored. We're just so thankful for the privilege of serving the Lord here, seeing what God is doing, and praying and asking God for what He wants us to do and what we can do for His honor and for His glory. Thank you so much for joining me for my Beachside chat today. But before I let you go, I want to give you one other thing. I want to give you a thought from the Scriptures. Because I was reading this morning in the book of Ephesians, chapter 5. And Paul said this, "Be ye therefore followers of God as dear children, and walk in love as Christ also hath loved us, and hath given himself for us an offering and a sacrifice to God for a sweet-smelling savor." God loved us so much that He was willing to send Jesus to die at Calvary for our sin. So very grateful, and for the knowledge of knowing that whenever I leave this place, either by the rapture of the church or through the doorway of death, that I know where I'm going. Because Jesus has promised me that where I am, there ye may be also. If I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again, receive you unto myself. What a precious promise that is. Something that we look forward to, and having, just knowing that the Lord is going to provide in that way, knowing that we're on our way to glory. So let's live like that. I encourage the church family last night as we concluded the congregational meeting. I said, let's serve the Lord together this year. Let's make 2022 a year of just serving the Lord together. Okay? Well, that's all I have for you. Hope I'll see you Wednesday evening as we continue our study in the Gospel of John, as we take our survey through the entire book of the Bible. start to finish, Genesis to Revelation. We've been in it now. Oh, goodness, memory. I'm trying to think. Memory serves. I think we've been in this at least 2 years. Starting in Genesis, we've gotten to John. We'll be in John chapter 18, starting on Wednesday evening, and then going as far as the Lord will allow. So anyway, hope that you'll join us for that time. Men, want to remind you that tonight, 7 o'clock, is men's Bible study. Hope that you'll join us for that. Tomorrow at 4 o'clock is our Arise ministry. That's a brand new ministry to us. Miss Glenda gave a commercial for Arise last night, but if you know of someone, or if you yourself have suffered some kind of a loss in your life, that's what the Arise ministry is there to do. It is a ministry to help you with, from a scriptural perspective, with loss in your life. God is so good, and the comfort of the Spirit of God is so wonderful. So we have men's Bible study on Monday. Arise meets at 4 o'clock in the modular building on Tuesday. And then, of course, Wednesday night is our regular our Wednesday night Bible study and prayer time. And Thursday is at 10:30 is the ladies' Bible study. So we've got a whole full range of things for you. And just take advantage of all these things that God has given to us to share with you and with our community. And we'll just rejoice in that. God's going to do something great this year. I'm convinced of that. I love you. Have a wonderful day today.